Hello and welcome to your Washington, D.C. area real estate market report for December of 2024. I'm Edward Slavis with the Slavis Group of LPT Realty, and let us begin as always with interest rates. This data is from Bankrate. That top blue line is the 30-year fixed. As you can see, it had dropped as low as about 6.25% in late September and early October, climbed back up to 7%. Now, hopefully, we are seeing another drop. The 30-year average is 6.81. As of today, 16 December, we are awaiting another announcement from the Fed. Most analysts are predicting another rate cut. For example, Goldman Sachs is predicting a quarter-point rate cut, a pause in January, and then more rate cuts as we move into 2025. So we'll see this week if that's true. We hope, of course, that rates have peaked and will continue to drop down and get below 6.25, closer to 6 into the 5s. That will really give a boost to the local market. So the 30-year fixed is 6.81. I always add that our clients are seeing rates a little bit better than that. We're seeing about 6.5, 6.75. It all depends upon the individual borrower, of course. So if you have any questions at all about what you would qualify for in this market, reach out to us. Happy to introduce you to one of our lenders. Now let's talk about some home sales. This first chart shows all new listings in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Again, this is the entire metro area, not just D.C. proper. This last month was slower, but of course we're also now into the winter months when the market does seasonally always slow down. In fact, if you look here, this shows the year-over-year listings for all types of properties. This solid black line means it's the comparison to the previous year. So we just about the same number of listings this month as that same time next year. Unfortunately, it is a lower baseline. Overall number of listings are down. For this chart showing the median home sales, we broke it out in 3 lines. That blue is still all properties. That red upper line is for detached homes, and the yellow lower line represents condos. And as you can see, all 3 of those are continuing to slowly climb with some seasonal adjustments in there. But overall, the median home sale price for detached homes and for condos and for all properties are higher now than they were 3 years ago. The difference, of course, is the number of homes that are selling, which we'll get to. This chart here shows the year-over-year change. So again, everything above that solid black line means a higher number than the previous year. So all homes that sold in November of 2024 sold for about 5% more than all the homes that sold in November of 2023, which were higher than 22, then 21, etc. So those numbers continue to climb as long as the house sells, and that, of course, is the key. Median price per square foot of the homes that have sold show the exact same story. And again, year over year, other than a few months here in late 2022 and early 2023, a random month or two here with condos. Overall, month after month, year after year, that median price per square foot continues to increase, which is, of course, great. What's different is the closed sales. A lot of homes are not selling. So this chart here represents the closed sales, again, broken out between blue all properties, red detached homes, and yellow condos. And you can see the peaks getting shorter and shorter because fewer homes are ultimately selling. These are closings, not new listings. And this is the year-over-year change for those closed. The good news is we've had several months now, more or less the last year, that more homes were closing in 2024 than in 2023. But again, because 2023 was so much lower than 22, which is lower than 20, it's from a low baseline. If you watched my market report from last month, I showed you this chart to point out the difference between the number of homes not selling. So I'm going to show you something different this month. This is the months of supply. Months of supply is simply, if you have 5 homes on the market, if you have 10 homes on the market and 5 sell every month, you have 2 months of supply. Or the other way to think of that is if no new homes are listed in 2 months, everything will be sold and nothing will be available. So the fewer number of months of supply, the more it is a seller's market because there's less inventory. Okay, there are fewer homes for all the prospective buyers. So this chart here shows the months of supply. We also broke it out into the green line, which are row homes. But you can see all follow a similar shape. in terms of the number of months of supply. And you look at this and think in the last 3 years it doubled, maybe perhaps from a half month supply to 1.75 months of supply, more than tripled. However, this is just showing the last 3 years. If I go and take this back 10 years, this is what that chart looks like. So back in 2014, a decade ago, we had between 2 to say 3.5 months of inventory for all these properties. And then slowly, the market kept heating up more and more. And eventually, in 2021, when the market was red hot, you had on average about a half month's supply, 1 month of supply for all of these home types. Then it's been climbing since then. But if you look, the months of supply is about where it was in 2018, 2019, around there. The difference there, of course, is that the rates were lower, the market was hot, and more homes were selling. So this same chart here going back 10 years, this chart is showing the closed sales during that same time. So if you look at the blue line for all properties, the closed sales were just climbing, slowly climbing month after month, between 10,000 and 20,000. The last several quarters, and this is broken down by quarter, which is why a little bit less smooth of a line. The last several quarters, we've seen between 10 and 15,000 closings per quarter, when before we were seeing anywhere between, say, 12,000 and 20,000, or in recent years, between 15,000 and 25,000. So there's about 5,000 to 10,000 homes fewer per quarter that are actually closing. So that's the big difference. If the home sells, you're still going to get the price that you want. There are fewer homes that are selling. Okay. So what does this all mean? Are more homes being listed? No. This month it's fairly flat. Are home sales increasing? Well, if you mean prices, no, those are flat. If you mean the total number of sales, no, those are also not increasing. However, we saw that the prices and the price per square foot generally are still climbing. They're flat from a year ago, but they're generally still climbing over the last 3 years. Again, for sellers, we can't take for granted that your house is going to sell. If it's properly priced and marketed, then yes, you will still get the price that you want. But we have to approach that sale correctly. It is still a seller's market. We consider anything less than 3 to 6 months, or anything less than 3 months to be a seller's market. We're still, even at this higher rate, only at 2 months of supply. So we do hope the market will continue to heat up. As those rates come down. Again, we won't know until the spring, how low those rates, how many rate cuts there will be at the beginning of next year. If you're at all curious about what your home is worth or the market for your particular home in your neighborhood, by all means, just reach out. Happy to offer you a free consultation and home evaluation. And for buyers, we still believe that now is the time. Yes, rates are higher. However, there is less competition for these homes. A lot of the homes are not selling, and those sellers, you have a lot more leverage to negotiate with those sellers. Through our lenders, you also have the option of refinancing at no upfront cost for 3 years. Anyone who's buying now, we are buying with the assumption that you'll be refinancing once or twice or 3 times in the years ahead as the rates come down. So we have a lender that can make that easier for you, again, with no upfront cost for those renovations. We still offer our buyer satisfaction guarantee, and if you or someone you know is interested in buying a house or the process of buying the house, by all means, please just reach out to us for a free evaluation. Again, I'm Edward Slavis with the Slavis Group of LPT Realty. I hope you found that informative. Any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out. If you have any real estate needs in the Washington, D.C. area, we would love to be a resource for you. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.